What is up, my nerds? Welcome back to another episode of the Nerdy Mind. I am here for episode 20, and I'm going to do a solo episode today. Um, can't see? Chop my hair off. Got a haircut. With my job, and it's coming into summertime, it gets very hot and irritating with a lot of hair on my head. So I decided, take it off. Buzzed it off. And I can say it's not my favorite haircut, but I can tell you it is the least irritating one. I spend a lot of time outside with my job, so the least amount of time I need to maintain or have a bunch of hair sweating on me, it'd be the best thing possible for me. But we're not a style haircut or style podcast. We are a nerdy podcast, so we're gonna hop right into some nerdy things. And what I'm gonna say may be a little controversial. Not controversial like like what you would think be controversial. Controversial for the nerdy world, and it is just my opinion. Just know that, and I have love for both things, but it is controversial to many. It possibly. And it is that the whole idea of the battle between Pokemon and Digimon, and what I think, and which one is better. And in my opinion, Digimon is better than Pokemon. Don't beat me up. Don't shoot me. There are reasons. I do have reasons why. And I will explain. But I have to first explain saying I grew up watching both. I grew up playing both games on the consoles. Collected Pokemon cards. I am foremost a Pokemon lover. I love Pokemon. I don't know how I can say that more. But, in my opinion, I think Digimon is and was a better product, and I wish it had more of a following. Now, reasons being, one of the biggest reasons for me was Digimon felt real. Now, I get it. How does a anime of children getting sucked into a digital world, finding a companion to call their best friend, and fighting evil, a digital evil just trying to take over their world, real? That's not what I mean. What I mean is the kids themselves had life issues. Matt, one of the main characters, dealt with parental issues. He was angry all the time. And, then he had to take care of his little brother, who has younger siblings that their parents kind of had you watch over, and you felt obligated to have to take care of them all the time. Not that you didn't want to, it was just, it was that sacrifice you made. Ty was the type of kid who felt like he wasn't, he didn't know what he wanted in life. So on and so on. And as they grow older, they're trying to find themselves, and they're trying to deal with issues, but they come together as great friends that are, try to stop this evil entity from destroying the world, and they feel obligated to help save their new companion's world in the process. Now, again, I love Pokemon, but the only thing, it's not the only thing, but one of the major things why I like Digimon more is because Ash's whole thing in this universe was to be Pokemon champion. He wanted to be the very best there ever was. Cue music.
The very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause.
Now, what I mean by that is that there wasn't really any, in my opinion, there wasn't any really like life issues to connect to, other than like Ash had the struggle of training his Pokemon, losing battles, getting frustrated. But he ended up, after time and time again. I guess the alt thing you could take from it is keep trying, get on the horse, as they always say, get back up on that horse, and keep trying until you're successful. Um, but it it wasn't the same for me as it was for Digimon. Because there was a lot of sad moments in Digimon. For Pokemon, it was just weird that like there wasn't. I didn't have that deep of a connection to Ash, because Ash used to piss me off a lot, especially when he would train the hell out of something like out of a Pokemon, and then he would just give it away. He would either just release it or he would never use them. Like when he's going to, I think it was when he was in Kanto to Johto was the only areas that he actually used his like originals, and he would catch some of the other Johto Pokemon, but it wasn't like it was the only regions where he could like he swapped. Where as he goes to like Sinnoh, he's like, I'm not gonna use any of my strong Pokemon that I've been training with for a while. I'm gonna catch all new ones. And then he starts doing that throughout the generations, and I'm just like, it's unrealistic to me. Because if you really want to be champion, bro, keep your strong ones. Keep your strong ones that you've been training with forever, and you may win some battles, especially to win some championships. Now, some of you may say, sorry, I want a sip of coffee. You're missing the point. But am I? In my opinion, am I? Because when you play the Pokemon games, we are swapping, right? We are swapping Pokemon. Like when you start out, you know, uh, depending on the 3 you start with, unless you're playing Yellow, then you get Pikachu. But you start out with a Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur. You 9 times out of 10, you're keeping your original starter. If you're not, then you have no love for those original 3. I always pick Charizard. I know, basic as hell. I love Charizard. I love Blastoise and I love Venusaur. They all have a special spot in my heart. I loved Yellow for that reason because you could get all 3 starters. I know there was a cheat, I think, for Red and Blue where you could like glitch the game and get to pick the other starters, but that's not the point. If you're playing the game true to its form, you can only get one of the starters. And 9 times out of 10, you're keeping that starter throughout the whole game to the Elite Four. Now, through your journey, yes, you are building a team. You have like you go through, you're going through your start of your journey. You're catching like I don't know a Pidgey, a Rattata, or a Caterpie, Weedle, whatever, and then you're building up to kind of beat Brock, and then going on and so on and so on. If you play the games, you know what I'm talking about. Now, as you go on, you will find better and stronger Pokemon to build a certain team, but typically you have your core that you already kind of like, and you kind of swap in and out. But you're essentially training the same Pokemon over and over again to get super strong, so that way when you get to the Elite Four, you're going to win the Elite Four. That is the point. Where Ash would train the hell out of his Pokemon where they would get super strong, and then he's like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go to the Elite Four. I'm not going to use the Pokemon that I have been training for a while. I'm going to, just catch a new one and send them into battle, and they're weak. It just didn't make sense to me. I never understood it. Maybe I'm misremembering. But that's what I remember. Him always letting Lee like getting rid of his Pokemon so that way he could kind of start his shit over all the time. And it would make me so mad. Because I'm like, dude, that's why you're not winning any battles. That's why you're not, being successful. And to me personally, that's just one gripe I have. Another gripe, and I don't know if this is officially true or canon yet. His whole Pokemon journey of him traveling through the generations lasted 6 months. Now, you're telling me he did all those tournaments? He did all the battles? Um, he did everything in that journey in 6 months. He spent half a year. If the universe of Pokemon is a 12-month calendar year.
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit.
I call it bullshit. I really do, because I don't know about any of you, but I can barely get anything done around my house in 6 months. And for him to travel from different region to region, make certain friends and build relationships with them, and then catch Pokemon, train them within that 6 months, and now his journey is done. I don't know. I don't know. It seems very far fetched, and it seems like a lazy way, for them to kind of write Ash out of it. It seems stupid, I guess it comes with the whole caveat with my third point is Ash never ages, and you might say, Shane, why does it matter that Ash never ages? Well, it's unrealistic to me, because in Digimon the kids age. They start out as like little kids. I would say Ty, Matt, and them are probably in the age of like what, 8, 10 maybe. And then to Digimon Try, they're like in high school. And then through the new Digimon Adventure 02 into the last Adventure, Adventure Last Evolution movie, Ty and Matt are in, well, all the team, they're grown up, but Matt and Ty and some of the others are in college, their last year of college, and they're pretty much going into their adulthood lives, and they're dealing with issues trying to figure out who they are as adults, as we all do. We try to find ourselves. And that was just real to me. Because, as I was just saying, us as humans in society, we try to figure out who we are as people. So it's just certain gripes I have with Pokemon versus Digimon. I'm not saying Digimon is perfect. I'm not saying it's the greatest thing ever, but it is just comparable to Pokemon. Digimon, in my eyes, is better. I know that Digimon had canon / timeline issues, but I don't know. Throughout that whole thing, I still think Digimon was a better product and wish it had more of a following than what Pokemon did. Not that I don't love Pokemon. It's just, I don't know. I wish maybe Digimon was on that. Maybe to some people it is on that tier level, but just I wish Digimon was on that level of Pokemon, so that way there was no real competition. We could love both, and you can love both. I do love both, but it's that thing of those little bit of gripes about the Pokemon show that really bother me. It just doesn't make sense, because as we grew older and Ash is still doing his thing as a kid, I wish we could have just grown up with Ash, so that way you could see Ash as a teenager, going through his journey, and then he becomes in his young 20s, and he's trying to find himself, and maybe he wins a couple tournaments, like little small tournaments, and then he struggles with the idea on, does he want to continue being a Pokemon trainer? Does he still want to continue this journey? And then you could have him win the championship, and then all of a sudden it cuts, and we don't, and then it kind of goes to like a scene where you see new kids from the palette, are picking their Pokemons for the first time. And, you know, you could show pictures. I'm already rewriting what Pokemon could have been, and it already sounds a little more exciting to me than what we had. And then you could show Ash like as an adult with Professor Oak and his Pokemon, and you know, show him like, look, he's a local hero, just like my grandson, Gary, and you guys can be like Ash, and then like you the new um trainer that they want to be, like protagonist for the show, bring Ash back as like the champion or whatever, and like, or that person can give Ash could give that person advice like, hey, don't do this, don't do that, because I struggled with this and I'm trying to help you. Just, I don't know, little things like that, like to make it more realistic. And that's just those are just my gripes. Leave a comment if you think I'm right or wrong. I don't really think there is a right or wrong. It's just all about opinion. Um, you can think I'm wrong and Pokemon is better than Digimon. That's okay. I will understand and hear your points, but back it up with some points, please. Because I love hearing different people's ideas on why. Um, that's just like I had a talk with one of my buddies at work, and we were talking about animes, and he was asking me, um, what is your favorite, anime of all time? And you know, I made this point of I love Attack on Titan, but for some reason it gives me so much anxiety that sometimes I can't finish it because of all the death and carnage. But it is one of my top favorites. I love Naruto Shippuden. The Kaguya arc kind of pissed me off a little bit. I feel like they should just end it with just Madara, not even have Kaguya in there. Just have Madara and Obito with the Zetsu, and them defeating Madara would be a great ending to the series. But hey, I'm not the writer of the series. It's just the Kaguya arc. I could have been okay without it. Um, but I love Naruto so much. Um, but it had its faults. But to me, same thing with My Hero. I love My Hero. Um, it has its moments where it gets me really, really excited, but also gets to these moments where I get really mad at it. But I would say my favorite anime of all time is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Um, and I know I've talked about this before on other episodes, but it's just so good at storytelling. Um, it is, in my opinion, a masterpiece, and I think it's a lot of people's top for a reason. It is my top, and I have a tattoo on my arm of a of pretty much a Full Metal. My whole arm is pretty much not my whole arm, but half my arm is a bionic arm, just like Al's is. And I love that show so much. I rewatch it all the time. I can never get bored of it, even though I've seen it. I know it's what's gonna happen. I just can't get bored because it's so good at telling a story. And it's one of those animes that I think, even though you have different seasons, it just jumps right into the next one so seamlessly that you don't really forget what's happening before. Whereas some animes are so sometimes they're so spread apart that you kind of forget what happened, or they're not as good at telling a story that you kind of have to rethink about certain things. Um, but that is one thing I could say about Full Metal is that it's so seamless that it feels like just a long one. It feels like just one season, and I think that was smart of them to redo it and follow the manga, because it shows, you know, strength. It shows passion, heartache, especially with death, and love. and I'd say it's the only anime that I've ever watched that makes me cry every time. Um, Especially spoilers if you have not seen Full Metal Brotherhood. Spoilers. Skip to a little down the road. Maybe I won't even say it. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna have that. Just go watch it and then tell me if I'm right or wrong. But I feel cold heartedly that I'm right. It is by far the best anime. That is still at my it's at that S rank level, and it has not been dethroned. I have not watched an anime yet that has dethroned it. I've watched, like I said, Naruto Shippuden, My Hero, One Punch Man, Doctor Stone, Sword Art, Seven Deadly Sins. These are all good animes in their own right, but for some reason, Full Metal is just like that juggernaut that it just cannot be beat, and that's just my opinion. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if Pokemon had the storytelling of like Full Metal, I feel like it would be on top, over top Digimon, where Digimon had a storyline to it. There was more of a purpose, and that's why I feel like Digimon is better to me. A long drawn out thing. It's a long drawn out explanation on why I think Digimon is better to me, but hey, again, leave a comment what you think. There's something else I want to talk about. We talk about a little bit about gaming here, but I kind of wanted to bridge this gap that I dealt with as a kid, and it was like the console war. Me being in my 30s, I'm 30, so I'm not really in my 30s, but I'm 30. But I got to experience a lot of different consoles, and I had a lot of them, played a lot of them. And there was the big thing of, the tries, like, the trio of Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony. And I was a big Nintendo Sony guy. I used to fight my friends over which one was better. They would have Xbox. Even my cousin Tyler would have Xbox. But he had both. His dad had Sony. So I mainly had like PlayStation 2, PS3, PS4. I have not bought a 5 yet. I have not had a purpose to buy a 5 yet. I'm kind of waiting for Final Fantasy to come out for me to buy a 5. Or a certain exclusive that I'm really interested in to buy a PS5. I just haven't had the need to for it. Because the reason being I was saying is like I play Xbox now. And it was so funny of the marketing they had where you would pick a PlayStation over Xbox, and then there was the whole console war. Graphics on the Xbox are better versus PlayStation, blah blah blah. And now that I'm older, I just want all of them. But there's one thing that I would say, I'm actually taking a step back from the consoles, and I'm trying to get into more PC gaming. True, in my opinion, it's funny is that true gamers would say you play on the PC, but as long as you enjoy games, I don't think it matters. If you love playing Xbox, and you love playing Xbox, you love playing PlayStation, you love playing PlayStation, if you love playing handhelds, then you love playing games. But I kind of want to get into more PC gaming. Just got my first PC the other day, and I'm excited to start playing because there's just so many cool little indie games that it's on the PC that's very interesting to me. You have your Call of Duties, you have your God of Wars, you got all that, and they're fun in their own right. It's just something about the PC where you can connect with your friends and play silly games. Like, that's the kind of gaming I'm into right now, is nothing serious. Like, I couldn't get into Call of Duty Warzone. It was too fast paced. Not really fast paced, but there's just too much for me. I fell off Call of Duty a while back, and it sucks because it was a big part of my childhood with my friends and cousins. But I just fell off it. And lately, I've been kind of just trying to get into playing more uh, fun games, like indie games. Like I didn't jump on the craze when Among Us came out, but there's such a smart concept of a game, and it's so funny. I wish I would have played. I wish I had PC when it came out. I know you could have played it on other things, but it was more fun playing on getting on Discord with your buddies and playing Among Us. It was just great. And there's a bunch of other stuff I want to try. Like I really want to get into more horror stuff. I don't really like horror movies, but horror games for some reason interest me. My first horror game I played was Dead Space. You could kind of say if it's a horror game or not, but it scared the crap out of me enough to where it was a horror game to me. Uh, so what were you? Were you a console person or a PC person? And if you were a console person, what were you know what was your team? Because to be fair, I guess I really didn't have a team. Um, uh, I would say maybe I was more of a Sony Nintendo guy. Because for a long time I was a Sega person. When Sega was making their own consoles, because I had a Dreamcast and I played that religiously. I had the Sega Genesis and I had the Dreamcast, so I was really a Sega guy for a long time. The Nintendo, I had the Super Nintendo, I had the GameCube, had the 64. Well, 64 came for the GameCube, so I had 64. Then I had the GameCube, and then I had the Wii. Never got into the Wii U. Never got into that. But now I have a Switch, and I had all the PlayStations. Didn't have the Xboxes. I never bought them, but my cousins had them, so I played them. So I was fortunate enough. I was very fortunate enough to come into the gaming world where I could buy one and my cousins would have the other one, and I could have the best of both worlds. So it was really interesting when I heard people were like in camps, because I didn't really understand that because I didn't have that problem. Um, so what camp were you in? Were you in the PlayStation, Nintendo, or Sony or Microsoft camp? Because I remember there being so many memes on the internet, um, of people just hating on each other, for what system was better. And I think there's still, maybe there's still uh that little bit of hate between each other, uh which console you're on. But with the whole cross-platforming thing coming out, and it's starting to become bigger with different games, I really don't think it matters um what console you have. I think now it's become to the point where the console players are starting to bring hate to the PC players because they feel like PC has more advantages, which it does. Um, so I think all the consoles are kind of band together to um, combat the PC, and I'm really excited to become a PC guy. Never thought I would get to that point. I really didn't. I used to kind of like, I would just like be posh. I'm like, forget PC. I don't want to play PC. I want to play console. Now that I'm older and more wise in my elderly age, um, I really want to bridge the realm of playing some PC. And it's funny because my cousin was the same way. My close cousin Tyler, he he's more like a brother to me, and he would say the same thing. Where he's like, I don't need to play PC. I'm good. And me and him were talking on the phone probably a couple weeks ago, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm really thinking about getting into PC gaming." I'm like, "Dude, me too. I'm really excited." And then we could play games together and just have a group of people playing some stupid games. That'd be pretty fun. So yeah, leave a comment on what camp you were in: Nintendo, Sony, Xbox, Microsoft ish, or you're a PC guy. What, or do you play all of them now? Do you all have they all have their purpose? Because they all have their own exclusives, obviously. Yeah, and let me know what you're playing on now. What games are you playing, and what console are you playing on, or what, or was it does not really matter to you. Talking about gaming, it is crazy. You know, when we were playing kids as a game, kids. Sorry, when we were playing, it's very interesting. When we were playing games as a kid, you know, spent so many hours playing, and we were always told, you know, why don't you do something more productive? You know, you can't make money playing games.
Bullshit.
Well, who would have thought that esports, like gaming competitions, would be as big as they are? Because I didn't. And it is crazy how popular it has gotten. You know, I see so many competitions now. There's so many competitions for everything. You know, you have your Call of Duty competitions, but you know, one of the games I used to love to play is Rocket League, and Rocket League's back in full form. You know, big competitions with Rocket League, and let's watch real quick a little bit of the Rocket League competitions and how crazy good they are. Because I just want to make fun of myself and how bad I am at the game, and I thought I was good. Okay, so this is Rocket League.
Altogether. Hibbs has gone bang bang. 2 goals, 1 minute.
And I'll tell you what, Hibbs has been a phenomenal player for me, at least. In the last month or so, we've had
Now they're showing gameplay,
continue that
commentary.
point of double elimination.
See, like
It's
oh
all
my
more
god!
style.
So like
You're saying
that's
that
what I
it's
could never
all
do.
over,
How
look over
do
here.
you do
It's a
that?
volatile
Hang
format.
on,
Brown
hang on,
with
hang on.
open net, up for the double.
So
Didn't
what
want to
the
go for an easy goal as the
Okay,
defenders
hold on,
back.
I'm gonna pause.
CJ,
So I never understood. So what was happening is there's a competition going on for Rocket League, and I can never figure out how to make the car fly. I don't know how to do that. And these guys are so good at this game where literally they're both flying. He hits the ball, it goes towards the goal. The guy blocked it, but then like then the other opponent flips the car to like tailspin and hits it into the goal. Like, how do you do that? Like, how much gameplay do you need to do to get this good? And these guys are playing for some big money too. They have like these teams that they're on to play for some big prize money.
you love it. I think Crowley loves it even more.
I absolutely love it because he had to go for the shot.
Like,
he had
boom.
to pre-jump top
Boom!
corner.
How?
He's seen that play
How?
a million times by now. He's 43 years old, ladies and gentlemen. He's been around
Hold
the
up.
block.
Hold up,
It's
pause.
crazy. It felt like the only
Was
on
that
the pre-show
guy
he was 20,
not using
and he's
boost?
already 43. It's an amazing world. That's an
Was he not using boost?
He's 43 years old.
He's
ladies
using.
and gentlemen.
Oh,
He's been
or
around
was
the
he?
block.
Was
He's
he?
seen that play a million times by now. He's 43 years old, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold up.
He's
He was
been around the
speeding
block.
around and he
It's
wasn't
crazy.
using any
It
boost.
feels
How is
like
that
the
possible?
Only on the pre-show he was 20, and he's already 43. It's an amazing world. That's an amazing.
I don't know. But it's crazy how esports has gotten. Because you know, it's just an avenue. If you love playing games that much, where you can be a professional gamer. And there are some funny things where some e-gamers kind of like act tough and stuff, like especially like these Call of Duty competitions, they get really intense. They get really intense. And they actually just make me laugh. You know what? Screw it. While we're here, I might as well just do it. I'm going to pull up one. Oh my god. I can't. Okay. First off, that's a lot of PlayStations on that table. A lot of cords. You need some cable management there. I know it's just a competition. Who cares about cable management? I can't look at that. It gives me anxiety. But two, look, I rage at games too. I'm not gonna lie. I rage at games. I take games sometimes too seriously. But now I just laugh at it. If I play Call of Duty, I used to get so mad if I losing. But yeah. It's just funny to me. Honestly, it is so funny. To see how serious it gets. Now, granted, I know there's money involved. I get it. Money changes a lot of things, but it's still funny to me. How serious it gets. I want to watch one more. Hold on.
You are shit! Nice one, control. They're gonna push her in. Are we holding safe? All right.
Get lost! Get lost!
I'm pushing
Oh
in.
my god, dude.
Go!
Okay. Okay. I can't do it. I thought I could do it. I can't do it. That's hilarious. When his voice cracks, it gets me going. It's an old video, but it's still an iconic video of a gaming competition. I mean, that dude was into it. And hey, I ain't hating. I love his passion. I love his passion for the game. But yeah, it is crazy how far esports has come though, and the prize money. So like, how much money can they win? Woo! So professional esports gamers can earn anywhere from $12,000 to $187,000 per year, excluding extra sponsorships and bonuses. Until now, more than 138 professional gamers earn more than $1 million for their gameplay. God, was that No Tail leading the pack with more than $7 million in earnings. Okay, that being said, I can understand the passion. I can understand getting pissed off. Because if I'm making that kind of cash playing some games, you'd bet your ass I'd be flipping out. Actually, I wouldn't be flipping out. I'd be flipping the shit off the table, okay? I'd be flipping tables. I'd be breaking screens. I'd be slamming controls. I'd probably be fighting motherfuckers in there. Not gonna lie. Because how passionate I get with certain things. That's hilarious. That's crazy. I mean, it's a sport now. It is crazy. Like they're not athletes, but they're professionals, and professionals getting paid. I guess I guess a lot of people watch these competitions. That's how they're able to get all this revenue. That's crazy money. That's like life-changing money. Now I'm wondering if they have to like. Now I know a lot of them. They're not like just individuals or teams. So I guess they have to divide that money between the team. But still, what they were saying, 7 million. That's nothing to gawk at. That is freaking crazy money. I mean, you have 7 people on a team making 7 million, million apiece. Boom. Even making like $500,000 at the cut, like, you got like the owners of the company, then you got, other team, like other employees based on that team. If you're making that kind of cash as a young kid or a young adult playing games, yeah, you're doing pretty well. But yeah, man, I mean, I wish it was as good as these kids. I wish I had more time to really sit down and play games and get as good, but I kind of just play games to have fun now, to be honest. It's something to just relieve the stressors of my life and just to have fun. I don't really take it too serious anymore. I think I'm past my prime of really getting into competitive gaming. I mainly just compete with normal Joe Schmo gamers. Yeah. But, yeah, that's it. I think I can end it there. There's not much I wanted to talk about today. I mainly just want to get in here and talk about a little bit of stuff like Pokemon and Digimon, and then, throughout just a little bit of the nerdy realm. Next week I will have a guest on. So, as usual, like, comment, and subscribe. Go to the YouTube channel if you want to watch the video episodes of the podcast. It is The Nerdy Mind. So, like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment on, what genre, what anime did you like more out of Pokemon and Digimon? Give a reason which one you think is better. Definitely give a reason why. I'd love to read it and hear your points. Maybe you agree with me, Digimon is better. Maybe you disagree with me and you think Pokemon's better. Yeah. Oh, leave a comment on where were you at in the whole console war back in the early 2000s? Were you an Xbox person? Were you a PlayStation person? Or did you not care? Did you just have both? Or you had friends who had one or the other and you just were all around gamer? Or you hated all of them because you were a PC guy? So, yeah. Leave a comment on that, and you can check out the podcast audio-wise on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and many others. I am actually working on getting a guest on at the moment. He does a lot of our local, like kind of like Comic Cons. A lot of our cons, the Nerdy Con, essentially. I'm trying to get him on. Find time to work that out. Get introduced to him. Talk about his local cons that he has here, and talk about overall nerdy stuff. It would be really cool to get him on and bring some light to the podcast. So, other than that, as always, stay nerdy, my friends.